Hi everyone, it's so good to be back after quite a long time of not sharing with you. I had a dream from the Lord where I was instructed to write things up, but just to put them on storage for a short time. So I have just had to wait until I felt I've been given the okay to put something online. And I will perhaps share more about that in the future, but I keep getting locked out of the videos after a short period of time, so I must just carry on. So the reason I'm showing you this picture of a ring is just an encouraging little vision I received on the 16th of April. I saw an exquisite ring, and the unusual thing about it was that the band was made of wood, and it was a beautiful light wood, and it was just exquisitely turned, and you could see the grains of the wood, and on top of the band was a beautiful pearl. And in my diary I just wrote it was exquisite. And the reason I'm sharing this is as I was praying to the Lord and asking, what does this mean? These are the words I was given. The ring signifies Christ's promise. So it was just reminding us of his promise to come, to return for his bride. And I just thought that was a wonderfully encouraging vision in amongst some quite serious ones that the Lord has given me. So I wanted to share that. And the verses I looked up were in Revelations 19, starting from verse 7. And I'm not going to read them now just because I have been blocked off. This video has cut short so many times. I just want to carry on and see if I can get the other message forward. So I'm now going to move to a vision I received during the Easter period. Just bear with me, I want to change to a different photo. Now what I saw, brothers and sisters, was a hare, and the hare was sitting in a window frame, just a single pane. I saw no background behind the hare, just the hare, and it was looking out towards me, and it had on its face a wild look. Hares are wild animals and they fight, and it had just a wild look in its eyes. And I knew as I saw this vision that it was representing Easter, but it wasn't a picture of the traditional, furry, soft, cuddly little Easter bunny. Now, as I was praying about the meaning of this vision, I was given two French words, and I have studied French in the past, so I knew that the meaning of mer is sea, as in the ocean. And the meaning of voir is also see, but as in to see with our eyes. And I thought how unusual that the Lord should use two words in French that mean the same thing. Well, they don't mean the same thing, do they? They mean totally different things, but the sound is the same. See. And I felt that the hare vision was alerting us to look at Easter and to take note of what happened over that period. So that led me to look at all the news items related to the Easter week, and I'll share it with you because it's quite astounding. So the first thing that I noticed was on the 15th of April. Of course, we all know about the very serious Notre Dame fire in Paris, where the beautiful cathedral was burned terribly, and the whole roof collapsed and the spire collapsed. And many of you will know that that has been linked to the prophetic videos, that pet goat one. Sorry, I'm not really that familiar with it, but I won't go into that. But anyway, at the same time, on that very day of the 15th of April, there was another fire happening in Jerusalem, and this was at the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. So incredible that both fires were happening at the same time, one from the Muslim perspective and the other from the Christian perspective. And then of course I just think back to the terrible shootings in New Zealand and Christchurch just a week or two before that, where 50 people were killed in a Muslim mosque. So all very interesting that these things are happening at the same time. But the Lord has asked us to look at Easter, so other things did happen over that Easter week. And the next thing I noticed was the 21st of April, Easter Sunday, we had the bombings in Sri Lanka, and 3 churches were bombed and 3 hotels. And I think the official death toll is around 250 now, and ISIS has claimed responsibility. And then next, on the 22nd, Easter Monday, there was an earthquake, a 6.2 in the Philippines, and 16 people died. And when I looked up the demographics and the population of the Philippines, they have a huge number of Christians in that country. 86% of their population classify themselves as Christian. So I think the Lord is just saying this is a sign, and all these things that happened in that week, we should take note of the grouping of them, and the fact that the Christian church seems to be under attack. So, brothers and sisters, I'm not going to read anything more into it than that, and that is what the Lord has shown me, that there is meaning to this, and we should be watching. Now, just to go back a few days from that, on the 24th of March, I was given an interesting vision of an old grandstand. And I really apologise for my drawings because I'm not a good artist at all. But it was one of those old wooden grandstands that spectators sit in to observe a rugby game or entertainment or sports events. And the interesting thing was that out of the grandstand was a huge wave forming, and the wave was moving forward from the grandstand out into whatever it was beyond it, probably a field. And I was a little bit puzzled by that vision, but I felt that it was important, and I have just been praying about it. I have had another vision just a few days ago that I think perhaps shows a little bit more about this one. So just to finish, everyone, what I saw 2 days ago was another picture of many people sitting in a tiered fashion in what looked like a grandstand type seating, but this time the people were all dressed in gold, and there was a soft golden light emanating from the people sitting there. And as you can see in this picture, because of the light in the photo, certain people in this photograph have got a golden look to them. And that's how it was, but everybody in that stand was golden. And I felt that that was possibly referring to the saints of God watching on from heaven. And the reason I'm telling you this is I believe those 2 visions link together. And what the Lord was saying was there was going to be a wave of events breaking forth. Now, that original vision of the grandstand was given to me before Easter, before all of those events occurred. And that is what happened. There has been a wave of events. And not only are we to watch what is happening, but the saints in heaven are also watching what is coming and what is happening. So, brothers and sisters, I hope this all makes sense, and it's so good to be sharing with you again, and I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say about these things. Blessings to you all in the name of Christ. Amen.